I spent $4,500 on an insane Japanese binder collection. Will it be a home run or will it be a time and money sink? Let's find out. Now, because I am proactive, I've already gone through and I've already pulled some of the hits out of the binders themselves. But first, we're going to go through what's left in the binders and I'm going to kind of explain how it was originally presented in such an insanely amazing way and why I purchased the collection in the first place. First, we have the very thick, old back Japanese Pokemon card binder. And this was stunning. When you first open it up, you're met with a binder that is categorized by Pokemon species. So obviously it starts with Bulbasaur and it goes forward from there. Like I said, a lot of the hits I've already pulled out. I've already looked at condition and everything. We'll be taking a look at those later on in the video, but I wanted to give you an idea of how this binder was sorted, how much of it is actually here. A lot of this is the normal Japanese kind of set cards, but then it was also full of vending series cards, promos from back in the day, and obviously a lot of the holos, promo holos, and just insanely awesome cards. The binder includes cards from base set all the way up until about the Gym to Neo series, with a little bit of E series and EX era thrown in right at the end. There was also a second binder to this collection, a lot thinner, but of some modern cards in both English and Japanese. It starts off with some of the, I think they were Legendary Collection promos in some of the, maybe like the pink collection boxes or some of the collection boxes, and then from there we move on to more kind of set cards and promos of popular species Pokemon, including Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, Arcanine, Ninetales, all sorts of fantastic. We got the Pikachus. We have the black and white secret rare Pikachu there. It's still in the binder because unfortunately it was in really bad condition. We've got some evolutions here as well, and in the back, the saving grace of this collection for me was actually a lot of this Pokekune set, a lot of amazing ultra rare like hit cards from Pokekune that are going to hopefully be PSA 10 worthy and hopefully save me from the rest of this collection. So let's take a look at the rest of this collection. So first up, like I said, the binder was actually chock full of vending series cards, both glossy and non-glossy. Don't really know the difference apart from the glossiness. I don't know if one is more rare than the other or if there's differentiation between the two, but first we're going to go through the glossy stack and then we'll go through the non-glossy stack. So we'll just go through these quickly. I'm not going to stop and look at all of them. A lot of them, though. And I don't know if this is a complete set or not. I still have to go look through and do like a checklist, figure out if that's the case. But we have a ton of them. And what's amazing about this set is I haven't seen a lot of these cards, actually. So a lot of the artworks are brand new to me, which was really fun to go through this set and just look at all the artworks. Now, this Pikachu, I mean, we know this as I think a Black Star promo, right? Or some sort of promo in English. A lot of these cards, though, I mean, Jimeno drew a lot of these cards. Absolutely just fantastic. Now, this is actually a collection that I purchased from the same people that I bought the Poncho Pikachus from a while ago. They reached out to me a few months ago, actually, and said, hey, we have this giant binder full of cards as well. We would love to sell them to you. Let's try and make a deal. And at the time, they were looking for a lot more than I was willing to offer. So I offered them kind of on the lower side because I knew it was going to be a lot of work to go through and list things and get things graded and stuff. And at the time, they rejected it and they wanted to exercise other options. So they ended up going and doing that. And apparently, they just couldn't find someone who was going to offer on the entire collection. So they came back to me and we got a lot closer to what I was originally looking for. And so I decided to pull the trigger. Sometimes that stuff happens. And a lot of times, you guys, when you're looking for collections like this, offer on the entire thing. Like, even if it's going to be maybe a little more work than you're looking for, or just offer on the entire thing, because a lot of these people, they just want to get rid of all of it. They don't want to piece it out to multiple different people. They don't want to take like the most expensive cards out of the binder to give to one person. They want to sell the entire thing. So sometimes you just got to shoot your shot and see what happens, and maybe they come back to you later on down the line. All right, let's finish up this vending series. Look at that Haunter, so cute. Some of these are just absolutely adorable. This one's a famous one if you know SM Pratt. He's always got that lurking in his videos. But yeah, these glossy, I think the glossy ones were pulled off of those sheets that you could get out of the vending machines. You actually got a sheet of maybe like 3 or 4 cards on them, and you actually peeled them off yourself. So all of these were probably hand peeled. I don't know about the non-glossy ones, where those came from or if it was a similar situation. But yeah, we basically got glossy and non-glossy versions of most of these different cards. Now, obviously, we have the Zapdos here. We did get the Holo as well. That's going to be coming up here shortly. A bunch of Mewtwo's and Mews. And we got this awesome Master Ball that has a sick Holo pattern on it. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't even know that Master Ball existed in this set. And we have a non-holo version of the Master Ball. And then we have all the trainer cards. And I think this one was the one... No, maybe not. Maybe? Was this the one that you sent in with the Masaki promos to get the actual Masaki promos? Which we do have a couple Masaki promos in this collection as well, which is absolutely insane. So now we're going into the non-glossy vending series cards, and then we'll move on to the holos and stuff that I pulled from the binder as well. You might be asking, like, why in the world does someone in the middle of North Carolina have an insane Japanese binder collection? Well, apparently this person who collected all these cards grew up in Hawaii. And so obviously Hawaii has a fairly large Japanese population, and a lot of card stores and stuff there apparently just carry Japanese cards, which I guess makes a lot of sense. It's a lot closer to Japan than the rest of the country. So, but yeah, this person grew up in Japan and just got all of these different cards and stuff from the Japanese card stores and things, and it just ended up being a really amazing binder collection. So a lot of these I would say are in like light play to moderate play condition, mostly because of like surface scratches on the back. You can definitely tell that they've been in a binder for a very long time, and a lot of these were back to back in a binder. So as they were shifted around, as they were removed, they got the small surface scratches on the back of them, which is bound to happen. But like I said, we basically have like all the non-glossy variants of the glossy cards, or at least a lot of them. Look how cute that Squirtle is. And you have this really adorable Charmander, one of my favorite Charmanders, I think. And then the Bumblebee Pikachu that we all know. And again, another Squirtle and a cute Bulbasaur. So as well as having cards from the vending series, we also have cards from the tape deck. So we have the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle deck cards, or some cards from the decks. We have the same kind of Bulbasaur. This is a absolutely adorable Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. Those might be unique artworks. I'm not 100% sure. And we also have obviously the normal Pikachu, but this one's from the Bulbasaur deck. You can see the little Bulbasaur icon there, which is super cool. We've got a Raichu, another adorable Pikachu. Similar artwork, different background to the other one. We have this really cute Meowth. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these have to be unique, right? Obviously, this is from base set. A lot of these are from base. Look at this coughing. It's so cute. Then we have this little chunky Electabuzz. We've got Jinx feeling herself up. And then we have, obviously, some really recognizable trainer cards. Then these are from the Squirtle deck. So we have the very cute little Squirtle we've already seen a couple times. And then we have these bad boys. These are just absolutely adorable. Kazuki. Look at these things. We got a Squirtle doing headbutt and a Wartortle doing, I don't know, backflip. I don't know. We have, obviously, Jigglypuff from Jungle, base set Diglett. Oh, we've got these really beautiful Arcanine and Growlithe. These were reprinted, I think, in the web series in Japanese. And then we have some more base set. And look at that Magmar. Look at the giant butt on his forehead. I love it. We have a Bill and then some, again, recognizable trainer cards. We couldn't have another super unique set from back in the day. Could we possibly jam-packed in this binder? Oh, we got Southern Islands, baby. We have these Southern Islands Mew. I don't know if this is the complete set, but we got a bunch of the Southern Islands holos and non-holos from this just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous set that was done back in the day. We've got the Slowking here. We've got the Meryl and the Togepi. And then we're getting into the non-holos, the Lapras, the Onix, the Jigglypuff, Lickitung, Executor. Look at the Dragonite in the background of that Tentacruel. So freaking cool. We've got the Primeape. We've got the Pidgeot. And actually, we got Mew's butt there as well. We have Raticate with a little sus Slowpoke in the back. Or maybe it's a Slowking, I'm not sure. Then we have the little side of Ivysaur here as well. We've got Wartortle. And then we actually have Ivysaur. And I think you can actually put all of these artworks together, and it makes this beautiful collage. And all of the artworks actually play into each other. I totally forgot about you. Butterfree. Now let's move on to the promos. We have the Ancient Mew promo. This is Nintendo. This is not the Nintendo error. This is Nintendo. Unfortunately, it has a fairly bad bent corner on one of the corners, so I won't be getting it graded, but just obviously one of the most iconic cards in just period in Pokemon. It's absolutely insane. We've got the Imakuni's Doduo. Some of you guys might recognize it from CP6. I think they re-released this in Evolutions, but this is the original, which is super cool. We've got the weirdest looking card ever. This is Moo Moo's Milk, where you just have a Sentret sucking on a teat of a severed cow's body. I think it's a banned card. That didn't look like that in the US. We have Blank's Chansey here. Very cool looking card. A lot of these are unfortunately not super gradable, so probably won't send a lot of these in. These extra rule cards are super cool. Look at the artworks on these bad boys. Those are pretty neat. I don't know if this explains how to play the game. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I can't read Japanese, but those are some pretty interesting looking cards. And then we have some of these Uyama or Imakuni cards as well. Look at this thing. This is just weird. This, I guess, prints the Pokemon cards? The Pokemon machine? Okay. Then we have some sort of rules card. We've got a transfer, a pass card, and then we just got a whole bunch of these weird looking cards here. And last but not least, we have some promo Diglett and Dugtrio. So just as complete as the binders were, the holos were also in there, and there is a ton of them. But unfortunately, the biggest problem with this binder comes down to condition. A lot of the cards had bends and dents that I just didn't see off first inspection, and unfortunately kind of rule them out of being gradable. So kind of unfortunate, but now I have a giant stack of Japanese holo cards to maybe put at the booth up at the comic book shop and see how well they sell through. But we have Heracross, we've got some Neo holos going through, got Ampharos, couple Ampharos. These cards were actually, I mean, this binder, you could tell that it hadn't been opened or touched in a long time because the pages in the back of the binder were so stuck together. Like, it was pretty difficult. You really had to pry to get the pages unstuck. But then we basically have, like, Dark. We've got the gym sets. We've got trainers. We've got trainers from, I think these are from Dex, maybe? These holo trainers. And then we have the random EX Blaziken back here, which is pretty sick. We've got some more Neo holos. Now we're getting into just WotC. It's just WotC, guys. It's just old back holos. And it's just about every one that you can think of. And unfortunately, none of these, I'm going to have to do another once over on these, but unfortunately, none of these are really gradable. They're not really worth the $15 grading fee to try and flip. I know Pikachu was reaching out to me about this card. Unfortunately, it does have some pretty decent damage on the back. So I won't be selling it probably to you unless you want a damaged one. Then we have Kangaskhan, we've got Chansey, Weezing. I mean, just all the way through. I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's essentially complete. It's like every one that you could think of. This amazing Sabrina's Gengar, obviously censored in the English version, but unfortunately very damaged. Yeah, a lot of these are damaged to moderate play. A lot of scratches, a lot of bends, a lot of dings, a lot of just issues that would not go over well with the grading card companies, unfortunately. So most of these are in the non-grade pile. I mean, and to be honest, this is kind of the sad thing, right? Is when you look at these cards, I mean, from first inspection, just look at it. It looks mint. It looks PSA 10 worthy. But you just hit old back cards in the right light, and you see every scratch, you see every ding, you see every crease. And unfortunately, a lot of these cards are plagued with those dings and creases and scratches. But look at it. It looks so minty. It's centered. It's minty. It's beautiful. It just doesn't work. It just, unfortunately, didn't turn out the way I was hoping. But that's okay because we have a backup. There was, thankfully, a safety net in this collection. And I will show you that here after we get through the rest of the vintage holos. So, obviously, the rest of these. Oh, the Blastoise. It's a little, a little issue up there. The base Blastoise. Again, it's just bent or creased. We've got the Dark Charizard. It's just bent or creased. Base Venusaur. Erica's Venusaur. Bent or creased. It was so frustrating going through the binder when I got it because I was expecting just minty cards, and it was just, oh my god, they're just all, like I said, moderate play, 2 damage, unfortunately. There is a little bit of a silver lining. Some of the cards were salvageable. Some of the cards were in maybe 8 condition, what I would hope would be about 8 condition. All of the cards have surface scratches on the back, those fine scratches that happen on old back cards, but honestly, like, I'll take what I can get at this point. So we do have some pretty nice cards that will probably enter into grading at some point. Japanese base, we got Alakazam, we got Persian, we got some Vileplumes that will never get graded because nobody wants those. We have this Ninetales, so a couple Clefables, a couple Raichus, Arbok, a couple Trainers. Ooh, we got the banned Misty card, the Misty's Tears, where 12-year-old Misty is naked. Good job, Nintendo. That made sense. We got Skarmory, Machamp, Tentacruel. We've got a nice Machamp. I really like that artwork, actually. We've got some nice Japanese base cards, I was looking very intently at a lot of the Japanese base to see if I could find any no rarities, but they all had rarities. We got Flareon. We've got cool Porygon, so this is a promo, but unfortunately in like 8 conditions, it's not really gradable. Maybe someday down the line, but for now, we'll just leave it the way that it is. And lastly, we've got this really interesting English Umbreon Black Star promo. Pretty interesting looking. Hope it could maybe get a 9. It's got a couple of white dots here and there, but overall, pretty decent condition. We're almost there, guys, I promise. We're almost there. We've only got about 50 more cards to look through, and then we'll be done. Appreciate you guys being here for the entire video. If you did, make sure, again, to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Let's take a look at the saving graces of the collection. Now, this Charizard is damaged. It has a big old dent along the side, unfortunately, but it's still going to be worth grading because it is base set Charizard. Base set Japanese Charizard, even in like a 5 is like $100 or some craziness. So it's still worth sending off, unfortunately, but does have a pretty severe bend on the edges. Now, we do have the CD promos of the original starters. These are actually in decent condition. I'm hoping for like 8 maybe. I don't really think any of this stuff will get a 9 or better. Hopefully 8, 8.5 is the range that I'm hoping for on these. We got Blaine's Charizard. We've got the CD promo Blastoise. And then we have, this is actually the Bulbasaur deck Venusaur, but we also have the CD promo Venusaur, which is really awesome. As you can see peeking back here, we've got an Alakazam peering back and pointing at you. He's calling you out, buddy. Let's move on to the Misaki Alakazam. Absolutely beautiful looking card. It does have the Misaki marks on the back, but it's really centered, and overall I feel like it's decent condition. I don't know with the Misaki marks and everything what CGC will give this, but definitely going to be sending it off because it is worth quite a bit. It's one of the more expensive Misaki promos, apart from like the Gengar and maybe 1 or 2 other ones, but this is a really, really nice one. We also have the Misaki Machamp, another one. Very centered, very nice looking. It does have faint Misaki marks. The Misaki marks are better on this one, but this one also has more like other damage, like whitening and stuff like that. We have the Uyama's Pikachu. This is actually super clean, so I'm actually hoping for maybe a 9 on this one because I do think it looks really good. And we have a random E-Series card thrown in here. We've got the E-Series Entei. Very nice looking card. Is this Nishida? It is. One of my favorite Pokemon artists. Very beautiful looking card. We'll be sending that off to get graded. And then we have the original Moonbreon from Neo Discovery. Beautiful card. Or is this Neo Rev? Might be Neo Rev. I don't know. I get my Neo sets mixed up sometimes. But just gorgeous. The OG Moonbreon right here. And we have Lugia back here. Neo Genesis. Look at the freaking holo pattern. My God. So much going on. We have the base set Mewtwo. Another gorgeous looking card. This one's actually a lot cleaner than some of the other Japanese-based cards, so hopefully it gets decent. We've got Dragonite from Fossil. We've got Zapdos from Fossil. We've also got the Vending Series promos? I don't know, the Vending Series Holos? Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, and they're all actually pretty decent condition, so I'm hoping for 8s on these as well. Then we have Snorlax. And we have the more crudely drawn Snorlax. Similar art style. Very different though. We got that 6 swirl on that Snorlax on the right. But we also have the CD, I think it's a CD promo. CD Snorlax. It's pretty awesome. Vaporeon from Jungle. Rocket Scyther. Blaine's Arcanine. We've got Fossil, Gengar, and last but not least, before we hit the saving graces of this collection, we have the T17 Typhlosion, but not T17 in Japanese. It's actually number 157. But still, the T17 artwork. Look at that double swirl in the top right. Jeez. Hoping for an 8 on that bad boy. The saving graces, I'm telling you guys. Look at this. Oh, we got some massive hits from Pokémon that are really going to help me make my money back on this collection. We've got the amazing full art Pikachu. We've got all the Pikachu stacked together looking all cute. We've got the Flareon that also includes Vaporeon and Jolteon. Absolutely beautiful looking card. We've got the Sylveon being chased by the cute little Eevee. Absolutely beautiful. All of the cards are minty. All of them are centered. I am so excited to send these out for grading. We've got the Full Art Gardevoir EX that also has Routes, Curlia, and Gardevoir. Absolutely gorgeous looking card. And we also have the, is this the Mega Gardevoir EX from this set? Brilliant Arrow. Absolutely gorgeous looking card. This is actually, I think, the most expensive one. You would think maybe the Pikachu or the Flareon, but this one is a big hit. And then we have 2 of the Charizards, which I love this Charizard. We also got 2 sets of the Charmander and Charmeleon as well. So that's pretty sick. We got 2 full sets of the Charizard line. It's actually very similar to the new Gardevoir line where you see a trainer grow up over the years with their Pokemon as it evolves, which is super cool. And we have this amazing Jirachi with that just beautiful hollow pattern across the front. And last but not least, we have the Altaria that also includes Sylveon and Dedenne. Looking all cute. The Pokémon is absolutely the saving graces of this collection, but we did get this is just an amazing binder full of vending series, all these different cards that I've never owned. Southern Islands, just a ton of great stuff.